Yeah, David Moss can score in so many ways for you. When you're getting over 19 points a game, it shows you that he can do it both inside and outside. Actually, over the last 3 games, he's averaged 26 points, so he can put some points up on the board. But, you know, the thing that I like about him, when you see a guy who's scoring above 15 points a game, you generally think they're the guy that's taking a lot of shots. He doesn't take a ton of shots for the amount of points he scores. He's very efficient offensively for Indiana State.
The other thing he does, for not all great scorers are good at the foul stripe, but he is 87%. Now, he split 1 of 2 there, but it's not always you see great scorers that can go to the line and shoot 80 plus.
A little
pressure.
It's a little surprise there by Indiana State. Full court pressure. Evansville does not pick it up. Opens up the wide open 3 for Marcus Howard.
So Royce Waltman, the little New Year's gift for Steve Milford. This is a 94-foot pressure for you. Burton inside, and Evansville answers.
But, you know, sometimes in games like this, it's those easy buckets. 1, 2, 3 possessions during the game that can mean the difference.
In this league, that is really the case, because easy buckets are hard to come by. There's a held ball. Evansville will get it as Morris got tied up inside. Good help side defense by Dwayne Lee.
Dwayne Lee really has helped himself over the summer, added about 20 pounds to his frame, and he is a guy that they've got to be able to get some points inside and take a little bit of that pressure off of Clint Cuffle on the outside.
See Lucius Wagner handling it for Evansville. This is a team maybe without a prototypical point guard. And sometimes that has hurt them in their 1-7 start.
Well, and also it's a very young team for Evansville, and you like to have a guy that at the point guard spot that is the guy that's going to lead the team. And Lucius Wagner, like you said, maybe more of a 2-guard, but not doing too bad of a job, leading the Valley in assists at 6+ assists a game for Evansville.
Here's a deep 3. And count it, Tyson Schnitker. He is a freshman from Robinson, Illinois. That is his 12th 3 in just 18 attempts.
Boy, it's so gratifying as a coach to see your team do something you didn't shoot around. A little drive the ball into the paint by Indiana State and kick it back to the wide open man and Schnitker for the 3.
Indiana State will always guard you. The question is if they can score enough. Last year averaged just 56 points a game. The defense wasn't a problem. The turnovers were last year, and Howard just turned it over.
You know, a lot of times you have to create offense by taking the ball in the middle. David Moss draws a crowd whenever he has the ball. Just a 1 dribble into the lane, enough to draw the double team, pulls Lucius Wagner off of Schnitker for the 3. You know, great scorers are smart enough to realize they're going to draw attention, and by using that fact, they can get other guys open for jumpers.
How about Moss is guarding Cuffle? It's not often you see big-time scorers guard the other guy's best player.
Well, you got your best athlete on the floor probably for Indiana State. And also David Moss is smart, too. He's able to play smart defensively against a very smart offensive player in Clint Cuffle.
Indiana State, they love David Moss here. Great off the floor, 3-point grade point average. A kid who understands how to play the game. On and off the floor. Howard with a little trash. Marcus Howard, 2 3-point field goals early.
And I think Marcus Howard is a big key for this Indiana State team. He's a great defensive player. You know he's going to give you the money on the defensive end. You've got to be able to get some offense out of him, though.
And Evansville has to be careful here as the Sycamores 6 points off turnovers, and we played just over 3 minutes.
Yeah, good hustle inside, getting a loose ball for Indiana State, kicking it back to the outside, and Marcus Howard just standing in the right place at the right time. If you're Evansville, you've got to be able to get on those boards, not give Indiana State second chance looks.
Latrell Green, that's a shot Evansville will give him all day. This can be a push off on Burt. He pushes Morris to get to the ball.
Well, David Moss early is working on becoming one of my favorite players to watch because I love scorers who do the other things as well. He's in there battling for the rebound along with Ted Morris. Gets on the inside and forces Evansville to foul.
Evansville immediately to the bench. Bradley Strickland, a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, checks in, as well as Kyle Anslinger, a freshman from Evansville, who's kind of the answer to Schnitker is for Indiana State.
Well, you'll say freshmen a lot in this game, especially for Evansville. They've got 7 freshmen. Most of those guys getting a lot of time.
Reaching around is Anslinger, and he's called for the foul. John Higgins writes him up. Second team foul on Evansville. 10-2 Indiana State early. Steve Murfield didn't like it.
Not happy with it, but I tell you what, when you're playing a great scorer, a guy that has proven himself, you're not going to get the call if you're going through him. Sometimes if you're against a guy that maybe hasn't scored that much, they might let you go through, but you got to give David Moss space.
Strickland with good post defense inside, but Indiana State was getting to the loose ball. And a three from the corner. Schnitker. Indiana State's chasing down the trash.
Getting to the trash, and once that happens, you're out of position defensively. Indiana State, the extra pass makes that wide open jumper.
And Evansville scores easily in transition to get back within 9. How about Moss, though? He'll look for teammates. He doesn't overshoot it. Last year, Pipe, he averaged 13 points and had just 10 shots a game on the average. This year he's averaging 20 and shooting it only about 13 or 14 times a game.
Well, great efficiency by him offensively. You know, the thing I like about him, though, he's so patient. He's got a great rhythm for the game, doesn't ever force anything, takes what the defense gives him.
Koffel trying to get a look, and Moss fouling Koffel. And that's the one risk you have when you've got him as your star. Could pick up some foul problems. Clint Koffel and David Moss, two of the Valley's best, squaring off here on the banks of the Wabash. 9-point lead for Indiana State.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a woman who knows how to relax.
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a painter, a parent, an individual.
I see a mom and a dad who are completely behind their kids.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV.
See your home in a new light with Sylvania Designer Series fluorescents from Menards. Cool white tubes enhance blues and whites. Warm white enhances yellows and wood tones. Just $2.49 a pair after $3 rebate. Keep holiday gifts running with Energizer Max alkaline batteries. Multi-packs in 5 popular sizes are just $3.99. Plus, save 10% on everything at Menards, even sale prices when you use your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
Okay, got your cable-powered internet, got the internet through your phone line, and you got your cheese sandwich. Cable's a lot wider. Anything you want, sails right through. Music, movie trailers, recipes, you get it fast. Now with the phone line, I'm sorry, I can't ruin a good sandwich. I'm Josh, and that's my insight.
InsightBB.com. Call now for this great offer. What's your insight?
Indiana State has 4 3-point field goals. They have a 13-point total, leading Evansville 13-4. Don't miss a minute of one of the great postseason tournaments in the country. The 2004 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament at the Savage Center. We call it Arch Madness. March 5 through 8 in St. Louis. The place to be for some Great Valley action. For tickets, call 314-241-1888. Howard was guarding Koffel. Now Moss back on him as Indiana State matches back up the way they want. Lucius Wagner has got to start hitting some shots like that, although he's 48% from 3 here early. That's 4th in the league.
Yeah, that's what you got to do if you're Evansville. Be patient offensively. Look to get it to your main man, Clint Koffel. If you don't get it, then take an open opportunity. Evansville really actually shooting the ball extremely well. 3 for 4 so far, just not able to keep Indiana State off the offensive glass.
The freshman Anslinger trying to hang with David Moss. This is Amani Danish, and he traveled inside. A junior college transfer. Turns it over inside.
A pretty good possession here by Indiana State, looking for the right play, but watch the defense by the freshman Bradley Strickland, just staying down on Amani Danish, making him go over the top, and Danish commits to go for the layup and then holds up. Makes the travel.
Strickland can change shots. In a high school game in Atlanta, he blocked 12 shots in one game.
Well, he's a guy that really has got to add some strength, I think, to his frame. You look at it inside, he's got all the tools, but you got to have strength to play inside.
Koffel turned down his shot, 7 to shoot. For Evansville, down 6. Good post defense. Cottrell Green gets the steal.
Well, 5 turnovers now by Evansville. When they get the shot, they've been able to hit it, but turnovers kill them.
17 to shoot. Howard resets. Schnitker not open on the fade. Moss not getting a lot of touches in the regular offense here early.
Well, Evansville just face guarding him all over the floor. Not really worried about what else is happening. When that happens, you give up help side defense, and you'll have to give up something else. And Indiana State's paying them, making them pay with the 3.
3-point bomb by Schnitker. That's his 3rd of the half. He has 9. But now 14 for the year, and the shot clock was about 5 seconds. Indiana State, 12 of their 16 points in this game off Evansville turnovers.
And all of their points out of their starting guards. The 3-guard combination combined right now for the 16 of their 16 points. And surprisingly, Moss has only got 1 of those.
5 threes already. That's what Donish will do. He gives his team some much-needed bulk and power inside. Moss turns it down. He knows Schnitker has the hot hand. Cottrell Green is all over Dwayne Lee.
Got good position inside by Dwayne Lee. But how about David Moss giving up the open jumper to give it to the guy that's got the hot hand? You've got to love about a scorer like David Moss, willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Sometime Wyatt Earp will give it up to one of the other Earp brothers if he's got the hot pistol, and that's what he's had. Royce Waltman has survived the last 2 years. Now, this is a tough old bird. Not only has he survived 2 tough years, and he's not used to them because he's a great winning coach. He's had some health issues, so has his wife. And the good news is they're in great shape, both of them. He was just downright jovial.
He was. I think I saw a smile on his face once or twice. Or at least a smirk.
Huffle on the curl, can't get the end one. He's going to get a couple shots here at the foul stripe.
You know, if you're Clint Huffle, you're such a good kid. You want to play the game the right way. You want to take good shots, but at the same time, you're the guy that has to make plays happen for Evansville. And sometimes you have to force the issue a little bit.
Averaging 13 points a game last year. He was 3rd in the Valley in scoring. There's his first point of the game. At the line, he's 77%. He's a civil engineering major. Now, when he gets back on campus for the 2nd semester, he's going to help set up a drainage system for a subdivision of about 150 homes in the Evansville area. So I don't know what you're doing when you get back from 2nd semester. I was kidding him during the off season, going, you talk smack, you talk thermodynamics and stuff to guys. 16-9. Indiana State calls a timeout. Royce Waltman calls the timeout. His team is up 7, played nearly 8 minutes. The Sycamores are in control.
Shooting stars will shine brightly when the 2004 Missouri Valley Conference season culminates with another exciting weekend of Arch Madness in the State Farm MVC Tournament, March 5 through 8 at Savas Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Don't miss one of the nation's top college basketball events as the tournament champion represents the Valley in the NCAA Men's Championship. Arch Madness is presented by American Airlines, ConAgra Foods, Diet Pepsi, Edward Jones, and Fox Sports Net.
Royce Waltman. His team is up by 7 points. They've used the 3-ball. They have hit 5 threes. Schnitker with 3 of them and Howard with 2.
3-point line has been easy here this afternoon. 2 teams combined 6 for 8.
Moss wants a 3. Why not? He's 46% from out there.
Tell you what, life is really easy when you hit shots. This Indiana State team has shot 50% from the floor in their 4 wins, and their 4 losses only 34%. So obviously we can all sit here and talk about everything else in the world, but if you just hit some open shots, it makes your offense and defense look real good.
Indiana State up 19-9 with 6 threes and a 1. Howard long there. This is last touch by the freshman Matt Webster. We have the under 12 timeout. The Sycamores trying to go 5-4, leading by 10.
skip the trip to the bank? At AllegiantBank.com, you can check balances, transfer money, reconcile your checkbook, pay bills, view complete account histories, plus lots more. All 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
A groundbreaking study by Purina proves that dogs can live longer, healthier lives.
After all these years, you haven't lost a step, you old hound.
The 14-year study proves that dog chow nutrition, when fed properly over his lifetime, can significantly extend his healthy years.
Okay, last one home buys breakfast.
So he can keep on amazing you year after year.
Gotta be the dog chow.
Incredible dog food, incredible dogs. Purina Dog Chow brand.
Bryce Waltman's team up by 10 on Steve Murfeld's Purple Aces of Evansville, 19-9. Today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete is an academic All-American. Evansville's Clint Koffel, we've talked about him, a senior from Riverton, Illinois, two-time All-Valley Scholar Athlete choice for the first-team academic All-American. He's got a 3.8 in civil engineering. Academics are important to the Valley. Let's salute Clint Koffel, one of the best student athletes this league has seen in recent years.
Well, Evansville right now would like him to see some shot opportunities. He is 0 for 0 from the floor right now, and Indiana State has shut him down, not giving him any looks at the basket.
Indiana State 0 for 6 on twos, Pipe. They're 6 for 9 on threes. Koffel forcing that one.
Well, we talked about him being aggressive. Maybe you want him to be a little more aggressive later in the possession. So you can get an easy look first 10 or 15 seconds.
Sycamore is going to the bench here. 3 different guys, new guys on the floor.
Evansville 2-3 zone. Really going to have to talk about the shooters on the perimeter for Indiana State. With Marcus Howard and Schnichter sitting on the sideline. Not a bad move by Murphy.
And Adler drills the first 2-point make of the game for Indiana State. Jared Adler doesn't score much. He's only got 5 for the season.
Hey, what if you're a big guy, find where David Moss is on the floor offensively and kind of shadow him in the dead area there around the lane. The defense is going to be so concerned about Moss on the perimeter, you find a little opening.
Adler is fouling, trying to defend in the pivot. 4th team foul on Indiana State. Things look very easy right now for the Sycamores.
Yeah, they're running pretty much what they want to, and for Evansville having just a tough time getting looks at the basket.
You know, it's the first time I've seen Evansville since last year.
Yep. Tough pass in at that angle, especially early in the possession by Anslinger. You've got the defense has not moved. You've got 2 or 3 guys collapsed inside and just cannot make that pass that distance and be effective.
Don't you want to reverse the ball there? Try to find an angle. The other thing I'm going to tell you is Evansville, we were talking with Steve Murfeld today. Last year when we saw him, it was screen, re-screen. It was like bubblegum shrimp. Fade screens, flare screens, up screens, down screens, cross screens, flex screens.
I like that shirt.
We're not seeing that this year.
No.
It's not all that screen, re-screen, flex screen stuff.
Well, they threw it away early in the season. They played Illinois, Chicago back-to-back games and got rid of it after the first game. A young team out there, and really that offense was built on the ability to read what the defense was doing, read the screen, read how you were being guarded. Steve Murfeld really felt like this team was spending too much time thinking about what they were supposed to do. A young team, and so he decided to scrap that for the time being, get them just to play ball and be a little more loose on the floor.
Couple missing. You know you're in for a long day when Jared Adler hits threes.
Hey, you know if you're in for a long day when you're down by 15 and David Moss has only scored 4 of those points against you. Indiana State's finding other guys to step up and make shots.
It is Adler's 2nd career 3-point make. Evansville's last points came at the 15-15 mark. You see right now we're just under 9 minutes left to go in the half.
Now, cold spells has been what has doomed this Evansville team. They have been in the lead in the second half at one point or another. 7 out of their 8 games. The only time they were not in a lead or at least tied was against Purdue, but this team has just done what a young team does, and that's lose track of what's going on for 5 to 7 or 8 minute period, and all of a sudden you find that you've given up 12 straight points and you're out of the game.
Toffel Howard now hounding him.
Great pursuit by Howard, coming off those screens down low, just getting right up in Clint Couples' face. Clint Couples, a guy that likes to have a little distance between you before he takes that shot, and he generally will not put the ball down on the floor and try and go around it.
I was kidding about all the screens, Pipe, but how much of an adjustment is it for a young player to learn how to set screens and use screens?
Well, more for reading the screens. Stand there and hold their hand up and set the screen, but guys knowing how to read them and come off the screen effectively and know what the defense is doing, do the little curl cut, flare, whatever. A lot of players just don't understand that, and that's something that you and I have talked at great length about, is the state of the game as far as players being smart about how to play the game.
Lucius Wagner turning it over. Indiana State is just three-balling Evansville to death. And a timeout called by the University of Evansville. Tyson Schnitker, 3 threes. Russell Trudeau with a 3. Marcus Howard with a couple of threes. David Moss with a 3. Jared Adler with a 3. 27-9 Indiana State.
The Missouri Valley Conference celebrates athletic excellence, bringing you nonstop red-hot collegiate basketball. There's another team in town that we're privileged to support, the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The Cancer Center provides state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and compassionate care to children who are diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders. The Missouri Valley Conference and the Bob Costas Cancer Center. We're here for the kids. Give us a hand.
Happy New Year, Royce Waltman. Your team has hit 8 threes in the first 12 minutes of the game.
Phenomenal. 8 out of 12. Well, this is a good shooting team, though, from the three-point line. Let's not just sit here and say that Indiana State's throwing them up and getting lucky. They are 41% on the season from the three-point line. They actually shoot almost better from the three-point line than they do. Actually, they're 42% from threes, 41% from two. So not a bad idea to throw up some threes.
Quick timeout, the under 8 timeout. You look at David Moss. Happy day so far for him and the trees.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
Totally Football is your inside source for gridiron news.
Jay, you were actually the one who called Keyshawn to tell him he was being deactivated.
Insider Jay Glazer breaks the story before anyone else.
I spoke to some team officials today, and they do think that there's a good chance he can get a year's suspension.
Inside the huddle, behind the scenes, and breaking news.
Test positive for THC, you're going to have a 4-game ban.
Totally Football, weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
His first pictures were supposed to be in his mother's arms. His first months, not such a worry. It's no one's fault. We did everything right. Still, our son was born almost 3 months early. And no one knows why. I just wish someone could tell me why.
In Terre Haute, Indiana State leading Evansville 27-9. Let's look at the Valley standings. Brought to you by Edward Jones. More than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. Edward Jones. Look at this. Creighton is 9-0 again. And Southern Illinois is sitting there at 8-1. Creighton's on the cusp of going to the top 25, and nobody expected that.
Just reloading there, isn't he? Matt Painter doing a nice job at Southern Illinois. Dana Altman, as always, doing a great job at Creighton.
Edward Jones, more than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. Edward Jones. Mark Turgeon off to a start, but had a hiccup last night, losing at home to Oral Roberts. Nice seal inside, and Amani Donish has his first bucket.
Boy, just a parting of the waters defensively for Evansville as well. Amani Donish caught it in there, did one power dribble, and the help from the weak side separated and said, go ahead, take the layup.
Evansville now has gone 7.5 minutes without scoring. Steve Murfeld was a little bit scared of this. He came in here last year, this very game, this time, and got drilled in here. Now he's down 20, and we still have 7.5 left to go in the half.
Well, Evansville's got to find a way to get looks at the basket. They have had nothing inside. Most of their opportunities have ended up in either a turnover early in the possession or a tough shot late.
Evansville, not a whole lot going on with this possession.
Well, Indiana State really showing well on that weave, disrupting the guards.
A creation by Robert Nelson, a freshman from Elyria, Ohio.
Well, he's a guy that Evansville thinks will be a player in time. Just has not been able to translate great practices to great games yet.
Matt Webster is getting a little bit of an indoctrination into the Valley Post by Amani Donish. He's a JUCO transfer, but that's the second time now Donish has been able to get the ball from the angle on the post entry.
Well, Amani Donish, a couple of years in the JUCO ranks, knows how to play a physical game inside and find position, and he is really doing a nice job of pushing Webster out of the way and getting his spot. It's tough when you're a freshman coming in, especially in the post. You don't realize what you can get away with as far as being physical inside, and you soon find out that the key is all about the first position you can get in the paint.
Evansville sitting with 3 total rebounds, none on the offensive end. There's Jared Adler. He traveled with it. He's trying to do a Matt Wren impersonation with his 5 early points.
Good little two-man game between Adler and David Moss there. The ball fake and didn't get the ball down before the feet, but you said it earlier, Mitch, it's just Indiana State doing whatever they want to, and Evansville not able to get into anything at this moment.
Nelson way off on the 3. Justin Petty is fouling, chasing down the ball. Looking for this season's hottest styles? For 2004, Aeropostale provides the hottest athletically inspired clothes for guys and girls. For store locations, go to the website aeropostale.com. Spell it out, AEROPOSTALE.com. Proud to sponsor the Valley. Aeropostale. There's the lob we saw him working on. Moss can't dunk.
Pass a little bit off to the left by Marcus Howard. David Moss had to carry that a long way to get there. Called Burton for the travel. Hard to make a play against Marcus Howard. He is so fast. 6'5", he's got long arms, can cover a lot of space, and Andre Burton just trying to create something against probably one of the best defenders in the league, and Marcus Howard.
8 turnovers now for the Purple Aces. They trail 29-11 at 5:47 left of the first half. Nelson works hard on Moss. Howard gets fouled by Eric Ottens. Maybe it's Webster. It's Webster.
Yeah, you give Marcus Howard a little bit of confidence offensively, and he really can do some things against you. I think he's a guy that needs more confidence on the offensive end. He's averaging 9 points on the season. Has to be able to create plays. If he can put the ball down on the floor and draw that defense, that would really help out David Moss getting open as well.
Howard, All Valley defensive squad as a sophomore. And again, his role is important too emotionally, because he knows what it was like when they were at the top of the league. The last remnant of that group. 20-point lead for Indiana State.
And look how far out Evansville is. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Just cannot get the ball, get their offense moving close to that three-point line. Indiana State really worked on pressuring the man with the ball out, keeping that offense out a couple steps beyond the three-point line.
They're not going to get a shot off there. Gore loses track of the clock. It's a shot clock, but no, they're going to say got it off in time. and Evansville ends up scoring. Now this will get the attention of Royce Walt. He thought it was a shot clock violation. And Webster is fouling. He's in foul trouble. That's his third. Indiana State's in the bonus, and Amani Donish will go to the line.
A bad break there for Steve Merrifield. He had actually put Dwayne Lee at the scorer's table before that foul occurred, looking at the clock and thinking that he needed to get Webster out of the game before he got his third. Picks up his third in the zone, playing defense inside.
This is uncharted waters for Steve Merrifield. They lose this today. They are 1-8. The worst start for Evansville since the 1947-48 season. But the coach of that group was a guy by the name of Arad McCutcheon, who went on to win 4 national championships at the old NCAA Division II college division. But Evansville's having no fun right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, they have had a tough schedule, one of the toughest in the Valley for sure. At Western Kentucky, at Purdue, at Butler, at Illinois, Chicago, and that was a back-to-back game that they played UIC. At Austin Peay, which isn't an easy road game, and that all done with an extremely young team as well.
They just lost to Purdue. They were trailing Purdue by 3 at half, and ended up losing by 20. Eric Ottens just hit a 3, and he's just back to the Evansville lineup. Fracture in his lower right leg kept him out of every game but this one and the Purdue game. Good defense inside. That was from Petty, the freshman.
Well, the good news for Evansville is Indiana State really hadn't had much success once they've gotten the ball inside. The bad news, though, is they're shooting 8 for 12 from the three-point line. Something that's not going to go on for the duration of the game, though, so that's something you can kind of hang on to a little bit. About the fact is, if you just play good defense and get to the boards, got a chance to work your way back into this game.
Oh, nice take to the basket by Nelson. He's got 4.
Well, he was scoreless the last 2 games. Typical freshman inconsistency. And again, the word confidence is a big word for this Evansville team.
Moss, he's dangerous when he gets it in there. One thing that's impressive of what Indiana State does with Moss is the way they get him the ball at different spots on the floor. And he can get you perimeter, inside, flashing, diving. I mean, he can, and they'll get him the ball every imaginable way.
Well, you match up with him with a guard. They're going to set him a pick down low like they just did there off the weak side and bring him down and post him up. If you put a big guy on him, he's going to step you out, work a high post pick, and try to get the 3 on you. So he is a guy that can do it both inside and outside.
Amani Donish out of Los Angeles, but he played for former Wichita State coach Randy Smithson at Cowley County. So you know, coming into Indiana State where you need a work ethic, you had a head start. So Donish will get another one. It's 17 in earlier win against Gardner-Webb. Timeout on the floor. Royce Waltman's team cruising along. They're up by 16, under 3 left to go in the first half.
Hello, I'm Chef Shelby, inviting you to dine with us at the Apple Club. We offer a unique internationally influenced cuisine, including an exclusive dry-aged New York strip steak. In addition to serving only the freshest seafood and the finest certified Angus beef, each meal is prepared before your eyes in our visible kitchen. Escape the ordinary and join us for your birthday or special event. Here at the Apple Club, we take your celebration seriously, and we will work hard to ensure you a memorable experience.
Meet Todd.
Am I going to be a waiter at 50?
He's had 30 years to make something of himself. Now, it's your turn.
Kind of sick of being a bum.
Todd's turning his entire life over to the TV audience.
The light's green, all right? I just need a direction.
Every choice, every moment.
I am an empty canvas.
Decided by you.
Don't mess with me now.
Todd TV. You can't screw him up any more than he already is. But you can try. Coming in January to FX.
Indiana State propelled by 8 3-point makes. David Moss, last year's Valley Freshman of the Year, leading by 16. When the Valley takes its cameras around the conference, these properties serve as the league's home away from home. Hey, please visit these websites, take a look, and call these properties when you're following your favorite Valley team on the road. Thanks to the folks here in Terre Haute at the Holiday Inn for being our gracious hosts and hostesses.
Well, Evansville really needs Lucius Wagner to get their offense going right now. They've had great success when they've had a chance to shoot the ball. They're actually outshooting Indiana State from the field 44% to 40%. The difference, though, is Indiana State 9 more looks at the basket, make it 10 now with that turnover.
And they had the play they wanted. They do a nice job of getting a back door, and Cuffle opened up and they turn it over. This goes to your point. Sometimes numbers can be misleading. You saw that Evans was actually shooting better, but Indiana State has outscored them by 18 points from 3 and has 10 more shots.
Well, on the season, actually, Evansville's opponents are turning the ball over less than Evansville, and that kind of tells you that defensively they're not creating much, letting the offensive attack them and not getting the offense out of their rhythm. And that's tough to do when you're sitting back and waiting for the offense to make mistakes.
Points off turnovers. Indiana State 19, Evansville a bagel. And there is your story. Otten's using the screen on the skip. Moss in trouble, rescued by Howard. Indiana State undefeated at home, 3-0. Last year they were 5-9 here at the Holman Center. It was the road that really caused them big problems. 0-12 on the road, Indiana State a year ago. Wagner squared up nicely, but shot it long.
Well, Evansville not getting anything at all inside, either a post presence offensively or any second chance opportunities. Matt Webster out now with 3 fouls. Dwayne Lee has been ineffective for him inside as well. And it is tough to play when you don't have anything happening inside, and Indiana State knows that and is fully content to pressure on the perimeter and let you try to beat them inside.
Evansville only has 9 rebounds in the game, and we're under a minute left to go in the first half. You know, I like Donish. He could help this team a lot. He's right at a scoring average of 7 for the year, but we saw Jabril Conte here a couple years ago kind of fill that role. And Donish giving some inside presence to this Indiana State team. And a steal. Schnitker will get an easy 2. Indiana State threatening to run Evansville right back to the Kentucky border. 20-point lead for the Sycamores. Steal by Schnitker. Will he have time to unload? He won't, but Howard will. Marcus Howard with the bucket off the assist from Tyson Schnitker. And that is a brilliant 20 minutes for Indiana State. The Sycamores looking like the Sycamores of 2000 and 2001. With a 40-18 lead against the Evansville Purple Aces at halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime.
So Royce Waltman has got to be trickled. Let's go to Chris Piper.
Thanks, Mitch. Coach, the offense has been the wild card so far this season, but no problems this first half. What are your thoughts?
Well, we got a lot off of our defense. I hate to sound like these young coaches, but we had a lot of energy on defense, and it created some offense for us.
All right, congratulations. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot.
All right, back to you, Mitch.
Royce is thrilled about that. 40-18. His team thrilled because they are dominating the Evansville Purple Aces in every way, shape, and form.
You told me all the joys in life.
there's a new vanilla in town. Introducing Pepsi Vanilla, the perfect blend of cola and vanilla.
That was awesome.
That's not so.
This is the story of Ernie and Fred, two brothers who grew up close, very close. You see, Ernie and Fred were born joined at the finger. For the most part, their childhood was a normal one, even developing a mutual love for Chicago sports teams. Yes, everything was okay. But as you will see very soon, it didn't stay that way.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By the John Q. Hammonds Hotels, the leading independent owner and manager of upscale hotels and meeting facilities. By the Prairie Farms family of dairies. Prairie Farms, Highland, and Roberts Dairies, serving Mid-America with quality fresh dairy products every day. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. And by the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Talk to me, give me the run.
Indiana State did very little wrong in the first half. Evansville, whoa, leaking oil, 40-18. Mitch Holtis back with you along with Chris Piper. Indiana State, now that looked like Michael Menzer, Matt Wren, Keelan Block days.
Well, you know, Coach Woolman hit it on the head. Great enthusiasm by their team. They were fired up. They were looking like they were having fun. And you know what? Basketball is supposed to be fun. And you can't play well if you don't have fun. And what makes it fun also is when you hit a few shots. They were tremendous hitting the shots outside. Evansville's got to be a little concerned. They did what they wanted to, which was not allow David Moss to get off. Indiana State able to find the release valve and have other guys step up and make shots.
8 3-point makes for Indiana State in that first half. But Evansville was getting no great looks, never really got to an offensive rhythm at all, but credit Indiana State's defense.
Yeah, great defense by Indiana State. You always expect great defense by Indiana State, but Evansville's got to get somebody to lead them at the guard spot. Lucius Wagner has to get involved in this offensively and try and break down that initial pressure by Indiana State. Try and get something going offensively because it's not happening right now 25 feet from the goal.
All right, let's take a look now at our Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week. Philip Gilbert of Bradley, before he was injured, averaging 24 points a game and a pair of career milestones in Bradley's 2 games last week. In a 16-point win over Loyola Chicago, Gilbert had 22 points and added 25 in a loss at Pepperdine. Congratulations to Bradley's Philip Gilbert, this week's State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week. Well, it's been all Indiana State here in Terre Haute. An early celebration of the new year as Indiana State leading in-state rival Evansville 40-18 at halftime.
The Just Read program is proudly presented by State Farm and the Missouri Valley Conference.
State Farm is pleased to participate with the Missouri Valley Conference in helping our young people develop their reading skills. We're especially proud that many of our student athletes are joining us in this effort to help children realize reading is not only fun, but can be the key to their future success. State Farm is committed to improving the education of all our young people. We believe this partnership with the Missouri Valley Conference will help these children discover the joy of a lifetime of reading.
Community outreach endeavor co-sponsored by the Missouri Valley Conference and State Farm Insurance. As is the case every year, the Indiana State Athletic Department was heavily involved in the Just Read program. Elementary students at Davis Park Elementary School recently were paid a visit by some of Indiana State's finest athletes, including Terre Haute native Melanie Beglin, who is once again enjoying a fantastic college basketball season on the court. More importantly, the reading done by the athletes is a great way for the Sycamores to give back to the community that has supported them so well.
We come here to read to the kids and teach the kids why reading is important in life and to get them to enjoy reading.
The Sycamores very happy to take part in the highly successful Just Read program.
The Just Read program is proudly presented by State Farm and the Missouri Valley Conference.
When Jeff and Sharon's baby arrived, they knew their needs would change overnight.
We need a bigger house, maybe a minivan. And what about college?
What they didn't know was I could help.
We live where you live.
Now the same State Farm agent who helped you plan for just in case can help you with what could be, with auto loans, mortgages, even college funding.
Minivan.
For help with banking, insurance, and investing, talk to your agent today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference and taking an interest, not just earning it. At Edward Jones, it's about more than investing. It's about knowing you.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams. Edward Jones, recognized as a leader in investor satisfaction.
It's time. My grandson is finally ready. This is a proud moment for a grandfather.
Ready Whip, let the fun out, also in chocolate.
The time is ripe for a new idea in homemade dessert. Introducing new Banquet Dessert Bakes. Now everything you need is in one box to bake a dessert your whole family will love. New Banquet Dessert Bakes. It's today's homemade.
Attention. Now there are two ways to get your bills under control.
First, a Chapter 13 bill repayment plan. Consolidate and repay your bills interest-free. Prevent foreclosures and even lower your car payment. No home equity loans, no credit applications. Second, a Chapter 7, designed to provide you with a fresh start. Stop those harassing creditors and get rid of your bills once and for all.
Call 888-7-HELP-US. 888-7-HELP-US. Experienced attorneys, fair fees.
Today's Allegiant Bank Missouri Valley Conference legend is Marcus Wilson of Evansville. While receiving Valley Player of the Year honors in 1999, Wilson finished in the top 25 in the country in scoring at 21 points per game. A two-time all-conference selection, he ended his career with 2,053 points. A native of South Bend, Indiana, Wilson led the Purple Aces to their first Valley regular season title in 1999 and scored 34 points against Kansas in the NCAA tournament. Evansville's Marcus Wilson, today's Allegiant Bank Missouri Valley Conference legend.
The new 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So capable, you'll have to work hard to make winter driving a challenge.
The Rawlings 10 presents T-Mac in Save That Dude Over There Who's Fallen.
T-Mac, T-Mac, that dude over there's fallen. Save him!
Let's go. Grab the ball, dude who's falling.
It's the Rawlings 10. It's got more grip.
Thanks, T-Mac.
No problem, dude who was falling.
The Rawlings 10. More grooves, more grip, more game. Stay tuned next time for Save That Cat in the Tree.
T-Mac, T-Mac, save me, save me.
Can Jimmy play?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy?
Oops.
Can Jimmy come play?
Hi, Derek. Jimmy?
Can Jimmy play?
Jimmy? Slot right, Texas. 22-on-2.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's my job.
The largest year-end clearance of Hondas in Chicagoland is at the Midwest's largest volume Honda dealer, Schaumburg Honda Automobiles. More than 1,100 Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more available. Get 1.9 APR on any 03 or 04 Accord right now.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Take a Honda home for the holidays from Bob Rohrman's Schaumburg Honda Automobiles, 8 blocks west of Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road, Schaumburg.
Today's Nestle Purina Millennium Moment showcases Indiana State's come-from-behind victory against Oklahoma in the first round of the 2001 NCAA tournament. Number 13 seed Indiana State trailed by 7 at the half, but behind the play of senior Matt Wren and Keelan Block, the Sycamores rallied to tie the game. Block sustained 3 broken teeth with just over a minute remaining in regulation, but returned to score 5 of Indiana State's 9 overtime points as the Sycamores captured their first NCAA tournament victory since 1979 for today's Nestle Purina Millennium Moment.
Indiana State in control, leading in-state rival Evansville 40-18. And Chris, let's take a look at your ConAgra Foods first half stats. ConAgra Foods, we set America's table at home and away.
Indiana State really tells you the difference there. Points off turnovers, though. Look at that, 23-0. Indiana State making things happen on the defensive end. Evansville not able to get anything going. And really, as lopsided as the score is, the stats back it up. You take a look at all the way down the numbers there. Second chance points early for Indiana State. Got their three-point shooting going, and that was really the story.
So Steve Murfield, his team trying to get on track. 1-7. Again, the worst start for Evansville since the 1947-48 season. And we'll be back with comments from Steve Murfield. 40-18, Indiana State leading Evansville.
Want to skip the trip to the bank? At AllegiantBank.com, you can check balances, transfer money, reconcile your checkbook, pay bills, view complete account histories, plus lots more. All 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Respect. Are you up for the challenge? Fairness.
Are you up for the challenge?
Courage.
Are you up for the challenge?
Honor.
Are you up for the challenge?
The Missouri Valley Conference student athletes, coaches, and administrators are committed to the ideals of good sportsmanship and fair play for all participants and officials, no matter what the outcome in athletic competition.
Are you up for the challenge?
Hello, I'm Chef Shelby, inviting you to dine with us at the Apple Club. We offer a unique, internationally influenced cuisine, including an exclusive dry-aged New York strip steak. In addition to serving only the freshest seafood and the finest certified Angus beef, each meal is prepared before your eyes in our visible kitchen. Escape the ordinary and join us for your birthday or special event. Here at the Apple Club, we take your celebration seriously, and we will work hard to ensure you a memorable experience.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
Back in Terre Haute, Indiana. Indiana State leading Evansville 40-18. Here's Chris Piper with Steve Murfield.
Thanks, Coach. Coach, 8 for 12 from the three-point line for Indiana State. It's tough to beat any team like that. What do you tell your team at half?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. So we got to play a lot harder than that. You know, for whatever reason, we were in this position last year, too, and we talked about that. And, you know, you got to play with more emotion and more enthusiasm. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter what you do.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Mitch.
Aces at 1-7. Our chat with the coaches around the valley, including that chat with Steve Murfield, brought to you by Mercy Health Plans. Mercy Health Plans, providing innovative health coverage that empowers members to take responsibility for their health. Visit mercyhealthplans.com. You see Clint Koffel, the academic All-American last year, third in the valley in scoring for the Evansville Purple Aces in this game. He is 0 for 2 from the field, has just 2 points, Kuffel does, and that was at the foul stripe. So Clint Kuffel not even getting his shots attempted, more or less knocking any down.
Well, nobody's getting any shots attempted by Evansville. They just cannot get past that first line of defense. You know, that's something that Royce Waltman had talked about to his team today in the shoot-around was let's try and force that weave offense out on the floor away from the basket. That way, once they catch it, they're not in a position to score, and that's exactly what they've done against Evansville in the first half.
Indiana State gets the ball to start the second 20 minutes, and Evansville runs over a screen to start the second half of play.
Well, you know, you heard both coaches at the beginning of the halftime and the end of it both talk about emotion of their teams. Enthusiasm, such a vital ingredient. You can X and O yourself to death, but if you can't get your team to play hard, play with enthusiasm, and have fun, it's tough to get anything done.
Moss with 22 to shoot. This will go to Evansville. David Moss, all of this happening really without a whole lot from David Moss, the Valley Freshman of the Year from a year ago. Just 4 points for Moss, now 1 of 5 from the field.
You know, it's 4 points, but I like what he has done, though. He hasn't really forced the issue. Evansville's trying to take him out of the game, and he's got other guys involved, and he's been on the boards offensively for Indiana State. You love scorers that are selfless and don't say, hey, I still got to find a way to get mine. They instead step back and say, you know what, mine aren't here today. Let's get the other guys and let's go for the win.
You are looking at a 4-leaf clover, a kid who not only understands the game on and off the floor, but will do anything and everything to help his team win. It is an emerging star, not just in this league, but in the country. David Moss, and yes, he is legit. Clint Kuffel is going to go to the line to try to get a couple here for Evansville.
Well, you know something that David Moss has struggled with a little bit this year. His left shin, he's got a deep bruise there, kind of down in the tissue they're talking about. And he wears a black band around that leg. It's kind of there to support it, to give it some heat. He hasn't been able to practice full all season long, a little bit more lately, but it's something that they're trying to keep repetition off of that so that that does not develop into a stress fracture. So he's had to play through that pain and play under probably about 75% of the practice time as well.
Pipe, that is the only concern to me about his game. This is such a long, grueling conference race, because in case of you, those of you who don't know, the Valley plays 18 league games. They squash those 18 games in, for the most part, in about a 50-day period.
Well, it's not like he's an ancillary player either. He's one of their main go-to guys, and he's going to get 30-some minutes a game. He's 34, 35 minutes, and you got to be careful with that. Turnover there created by the Evansville defense.
Yeah, and he's got, Murphill's got Justin Petty on the floor. You see him in the middle of your screen. A freshman who started the second half. So it's one of those situations where the coaching staff said, wait a minute, we're going to put the guys on the floor who are fighting.
Well, as well, you keep Matt Webster on the bench with 3 fouls. That way you can shorten his second half, maybe put him in with 10 minutes to go, and he doesn't have to worry about foul trouble.
Moss picks up his second foul. Last year, Moss exploded in this game. He had 32 points against Evansville. That's a career high. Good job by Evansville's Andre Burton to prevent scoring on an inbounds play for Indiana State to Moss. Now this is an element Indiana State did not have a year ago. Somebody inside that could grind and get those kind of buckets.
Well, and he's a grinder, raw talent inside, big and strong player. He's going to bang with you.
3 seconds.
3-second call. Miracle not happy with that at all. For Evansville. Well, overs now on the game by Evansville. We still got a long way to go here in this half.
Sycamore is up 20 with the rock.
Well, Andre Burton really battling inside with David Moss. And once David Moss gets down there on that low post, Andre Burton does everything possible to get him out of that position. Don't want to let scorers have the spots they like on the floor.
Trell Green getting a pretty good look. For Marcus Howard, who's cooled off. Now he's 3 for 7. Burton doesn't get stopped. It'll be goaltending on Green. Give the basket to Andre Burton.
Boy, nice job by Andre Burton getting down the floor, but more importantly, avoiding the contact with Tyson Snitker. Snitker tried to set up and draw the charge, and Burton just slipped right around him. Good speed to the bucket, and that's what you have to do to get back in this game, is find a way to get to the glass and get easy opportunities. You don't get back an 18-point deficit by shooting jump shots.
And Royce Waltman is probably thinking, oh, wait a minute, guys. Don't hear it's starting to figure out who's got the New Year's Eve party. Because the challenge he's got is trying to keep his guys with the same kind of fury they played in the first 20 minutes.
It's his first second team foul on the defense at the line. 2 shots.
Elamani Donish inside again, just finding space underneath the basket. Close inside. When he catches it, all he's got to really do is try and make something happen at the glass, and he has a definite size advantage inside against a smaller Evansville team.
And one thing Indiana State has had a problem is finishing inside. But if you get Donish just doing the stuff he's done in this game, doesn't have to be spectacular. Howard jumps the passing lane. Donish is going to give some problems to some teams in this league by the way he plays and what he does inside for Indiana State. People talk about Wren and Menzer, but I'll bring up Jabril Conte. The stuff he did for that team made it work. Donish will give some problems to teams in this league.
Yeah, you love his toughness.
That whole crew. Set up inside. Petty gets the basket, but good penetration by Burke.
Did you see where the offense got started for Evansville that time? All around the three-point line, actually a step inside, and now they've got that Indiana State defense back on their heels a little bit. You've got to be aggressive offensively to break the defense down, but yet be patient that you don't get crazy trying to make tough shots.
Donish right now is doing what he got 12. Now he had 17 in an earlier game, so this is not just an aberration.
Started 4 times for this Indiana State team as Royce Waltman has tried to find that perfect combination.
45-26. Evansville trying to crawl back into the game with a little better effort in the second half. They're still down a bunch.
Care about your car, you want to keep it protected. No one understands that like your State Farm agent.
We live where you live.
That's why more people insure their cars with State Farm than anyone else, because we care about you the way you care about your car.
Watch the stories unfold. Mystery Sunday. 6 shows every Sunday, starting at 1. McMillan and Wife. McCloud. Hawaii Five-0. Kojak. The Equalizer. And Quincy M.E. Mystery Sunday. Classic mystery series. Every Sunday starting at 1 on the Hallmark Channel.
It's hard to tan with a bird on your back. The planet's funniest animals, Thursday at 8, only on Animal Planet. Everybody loves rolls before dinner, especially cats. The planet's funniest animals, Thursday at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Where can you find great pets to adopt? Tri-County Animal Shelter in Dixon, where healthy cats and dogs are always available. Plus, the shelter offers the best in boarding services. Adopt your new best friend today.
Mitch Holt is back with Chris Piper in Terre Haute, Indiana. Happy New Year to everyone. Let's check in now with the league schedules brought to you by Ameren UE with our Valley scores and schedules. Ameren UE, Missouri's largest electric utility provider. This Indiana State team will go on the road to Bradley Saturday. That'll be an interesting game. And Wichita State will try to recover at home against Drake after losing last night. And SIU, now you mentioned Matt Painter early. This is a guy that took over for Bruce Weber. They have only 1 loss so far this year. They are 8-1 and playing very well.
Yeah, the league's going to be tough as always. 6 teams got a chance to get in there to that top spot.
Lucius Wagner driving inside. Yeah, Matt Painter, they lose Kent Williams and Jermaine Dearman. Everybody thought they would jump off the cliff.
Well, it's going to be good young players on that team.
The guard, they play hard for Matt. Matt Painter off to a great start down in Little Egypt. And the fourth foul on Webster.
That put him in at the 15-minute mark and immediately picks up his fourth foul. Just has to learn when you can body up and when you can't inside in the post. It's a fine line that you draw there as a post player inside. He gets to set out and bring in another freshman in Bradley Strickland.
Not a good day for Matt Webster. No points, 4 fouls. He's had better moments. He had 13 against Ole Miss. And was in double digits against Purdue. Evansville's last game. Huffle trying to get one in transition. Strickland chasing it down.
Soft shot inside. He's 8 for 9 now on the season. Takes full advantage of opportunities when he gets them. Down to 15.
Howard right around Kuffle, and Kuffle's going to get a hand check. Big difference though here, Pipe, in the effort of Evansville in the first 5 minutes of this half and the first 20.
Yeah, momentum shifts real quickly in basketball, doesn't it? Evansville now has Indiana State on their heels. I don't know, though. I haven't done as many games in the Valley as you, Mitch, but I rarely see any blowouts. They always seem to come back into the game one way or another.
Too much pride. Too much pride in this. As you know, with the coaches in this league, you lay down and take a 30-point licking. You're going to pay for it one way or another.
A big game here this afternoon for both these teams, and they're starting to lay it on the line now. Aggressive, attacking, getting hands in the passing lane, and great hustle. Marcus Howard going down on the floor. It's a game both of these teams feel like they can win, and therefore it's extremely important when you look down the road for the schedule that they both have with upcoming powerhouse teams in the Valley.
Kuffle just not comfortable. 0 for 5 from the field. He was 0 for 6 against Purdue. Moss.
Tried to draw the contact, and in effect he did, but he actually initiated it. Good defense, staying down, making him go over the top.
Good ball pressure by Schnitker. And Evansville will keep it.
David Moss hasn't had a lot of looks this afternoon, but this one he's going to try and take against Anslinger inside. Watch Anslinger just stay down. He knows that Moss can go over the top, holds his defensive position. Tough shot by Moss.
Pipe, if you're Kyle Anslinger, there's not a whole lot more you can do.
Nothing you can do. Go down the floor, tell him good shot. Just don't let him have it again.
Kuffle gets one inside and travel with it because Moss was waiting for him. They got Kuffle the ball where they wanted him to get it, and he turns it over.
Well, difference between the two leading scorers there. The one time down, David Moss, good patience. He didn't rush the play. He stayed in rhythm. On the other side, Clint Kuffle just a little bit fast right now. He wants to make something happen so badly that he's forcing the issue just a little bit too much, playing quickly. Tough line there to draw between being aggressive and still being patient offensively.
Kuffle is the only senior on this Evansville team, and that's not easy duty. Lucius Wagner out there. Kuffle can't get it. Evansville keeps it off Howard.
Watch him coming right at you. Wagner wide open for the three. He says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take it. And again, Kuffle really struggling inside. Misses this and ball comes right at you.
The ball feels like a medicine ball when it's going like that.
Yeah, nothing good's going to happen.
It's like, how heavy is this ball? 47-30 Indiana State. 7 minutes deep into the second half.
Donish really wanting the ball inside. He's got a good weight advantage against Bradley Strickland.
Donish has been the second half story for Indiana State with 5 points.
Now Donish posting up strong inside. Watch the weak side help from Lucius Wagner coming a little bit late. He didn't just aggressively attack that double team. When you come to double team, you've really got to attack it, not let him turn your direction. Keep him from going over that right shoulder. If you don't, you're either going to give up the bucket or the foul.
Donish 70 at the line for the year. He's been there 7 times in this game. and hit 5 of 7. Played in the Jayhawk JUCO, as we mentioned, for former Wichita State coach Randy Smithson in Cali County. He played in the Eastern Division. Generally thought the Western Division tougher, but if you play JUCO ball in that league, that's like a mini D1 level. You're going to play D1 guys every night.
It's a little incubator, the farm league. Came into this game shooting 38%, but much better than that. Just still trying to find his place on this team.
Strickland gets a couple shots set up by Nelson's penetration.
One of the best things to do is push the ball down the floor and look early before that defense can get set. Nice drive to the middle of the paint, draws the defense over, then the kick down to Strickland underneath the basket, and that's how you create easy opportunities. Attack the defense down the floor and then take it right at the basket. Both these teams really done a pretty good job of putting the ball down on the floor to the paint, under control, and then kicking it to the open guy.
Good gap attacking. You know, Strickland, interesting for Steve Norfeld when you're rebuilding a program. You know, I'm sure in the back of his mind he thought, you know, it'd be great to redshirt this kid, get him stronger, get him bulked up physically, like you mentioned. But where their program is right now, probably not the luxury to do that.
Yeah, you've got to have immediate help right now. No question about it. And the other thing, too, is nothing better than getting out on the floor and getting that experience on the floor. When it really becomes a problem is if you don't redshirt a guy and he still doesn't get a lot of minutes. Then you've kind of, in effect, wasted his year.
The Bird Antoine. Trudeau missing it. Just raw hustle there for Indiana State. And it was Donish in there again. I'm impressed with it.
You got help, Brian. You got to help more.
Jared Adler had 3 points for the season. He's got 7 for the game.
I'll tell you what, he can really help him as well. 6'9", and with Amani Donish inside in the paint, he gets matched up with the second biggest guy on the floor, and he can take him out on the floor and shoot that jumper.
A deep three from the riding of the center of the floor, missed by Anslinger. Indiana State back up by 20, getting some unexpected points from Jared Adler.
So I got tickets to the game tomorrow night. I wasn't sure if you wanted to go.
Well, it doesn't sound like you want me to go.
What? Of course I want you to go. I just thought maybe, you know, with the crowd and all that.
You'd probably have a better time with Gary.
Gary? No.
Why don't you ask Gary? And we'll hook up on Saturday.
Okay, if you're sure.
I'm sure.
Okay, bye-bye. You're in.
Yes! I'm out! Let's go dancing.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
Holman Center in downtown Terre Haute. Indiana State up by a crisp 20 with 11:43 left to go. Be sure to join us for the 2004 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament in Springfield, Missouri at the Hammond Student Center. We call it Hoops in the Heartland. Again, for tickets, 417-836-7678, an automatic bid to the NCAA show. We'll be on the line in the Ozarks in March. We had some awesome moments in that tournament as well. Jackie Stiles taking her team to the Final Four a couple years ago. Pressure shown here by Evansville, Pike.
A running half-court trap. Trying to speed up Indiana State a little bit, get them out of what they want to do offensively. And also, in turn, kind of lights your team up a little bit if they can get some turnovers going and create those into easy buckets down the floor.
Nelson bumping in the foul. Indiana State still not yet in the bonus. Good look from the corner and Moss.
Well, tough to double team off of Moss, and when he sets the pick and your man doubles off of him, he just flares down to the baseline and wide open jumper. Probably not where you want to double off of is David Moss.
Largest lead of the game now for Indiana State. Make that 26. There's the Bird. The Bird is the word. Bird Antoine.
Yeah, they are 0 for 3 here in the second half before those last two for Indiana State.
That's the first time the Bird has chirped for a 3 this year. He's 1 of 4 beyond the arc. Strickland trying to get one back. Bird had 5 threes against Evansville here last year in an Indiana State blowout win.
Number 32, Ted Morris, his first 4th team foul.
Well, it didn't take long for Indiana State to blow that back to 26. A couple of threes really opens up the game. And Evansville without Clint Couple on the floor right now is struggling again. As well as Lucius Wagner sitting on the bench. Well, he's going to come back in now for Evansville. There's Clint Couple taking a breather, and he has not been able to get on track. But one of the things with him being on the floor, though, he does draw the attention of Indiana State, which hopefully will open up things for other guys for Evansville.
Strickland yet to hit a free throw. That's 0 for 4 now from the foul stripe for Brad Strickland. It's a little different Indiana State team than we've seen the last couple of years.
I think so too. They're much more efficient offensively. They've got more guys that can attack you. Seemed like more 2 years ago and a little bit still last year, there really was only one guy on the floor that could make it happen. This year it looks like they've got more weapons.
Last year not only couldn't they couldn't score at only 56 points, they were last in the Valley in rebounding. Now they do it by committee this year inside, but I think they're going to get enough up and down where they'll be more of a factor inside this year.
Well, if Amani Donish can play like he's played here this afternoon, and that allows you to be a little more judicial with your use of Ted Morris, the 6'10 sophomore as well. Don't have to throw him into each and every game for 20 or 30 minutes.
The Bird is the word. He played at Coffeyville Community College. Bird Antoine with both free throws down. Led Coffeyville to the National Junior College Championship game in Hutchinson, where they lost to Dixie. JC. 58-30, biggest lead of the game for Indiana State.
Nice looking shot there by Anslinger. Coming off that high pick set by Strickland. Anslinger, a freshman, one of many for Evansville, a guy that they think can be a 12 to 14 point guy at some point for this team.
It's 16 against Purdue. Hit 4 threes. Morris inside to St. Louis. A chance for an and one. His first points of the game.
Well, he's got good size inside. If he's able to get the position to hold off the defense, then you got a guy that's got good hands, a nice little lob pass over the top. What a nice job Ted Morris did of bringing his man up the floor. They allowed the spacing to allow the lob pass underneath. A lot of times you see big guys standing down on the block pointing for the lob pass. There's nowhere for it to go, but Ted Morris does a nice job of clearing some space, allow for that pass from the wing.
Morris had 16 against Pennsylvania earlier this year. Did you see that? They had a kind of a cool deal. Remember the 79 Final Four, Bird versus Magic? They invited all 4 of those teams back and had their own little tournament again as kind of a reunion.
I wonder what the Final Four reunion was. That is cool.
We're going to have the 88 Final Four reunion tournament? No. First of all, KU doesn't need to play Oklahoma again, but
that's true.
Who else would be there? Who's the other two? Duke in there?
Duke and Arizona.
Arizona. That'd be a nice little tournament. We could have it down at Kankakee, Illinois. Have a high old time.
Penetration by the freshman Eric Gray, dropping it off inside. And Ted Morris again getting some opportunity. A little blood on Anslinger's hand as he comes to the sideline.
which means he has to leave. He's escorted by J.D. Collins. Here's Anslinger, freshman hometown kid from Evansville. Left in the game. You see Indiana State top of the screen with a huge lead. They've had that lead since the very beginning of the game. Ted Morris, the St. Louisan, played at Chaminade High School. Why not have a Final Four reunion of '88? Get somebody
good teams, huh?
Yeah, it'd be real good teams. Just don't have KU and Oklahoma both.
I don't think any of those teams would want to have to go through a two-game tournament, though.
I wonder if you could invite somebody else to take Oklahoma's place. Gardner Webb, Lipscomb, Corpus Christi would do it. Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
They're all over the place, aren't they?
Fang Mitchell at Coppin State would do it if he gets a couple 20,000-30,000. Speaking of coaches, Royce Waltman still coaching him up, even though his team's up by 27 points.
Really had good energy today in his shoot around. He was active, mobile, looked good out there.
One more.
Trying to figure out what's going on here right now. John Higgins discussing with Steve Merfeld.
Ted Morris says, just give me the ball, I'll shoot it. Morris has 5 points. One of the few good things that's happened for Matt Webster. He's going to get free throws here. Able to get a clean angle on an entry pass, then got fouled.
You know, earlier we showed you Ted Morris getting position inside. Watch the position inside the paint. He clears the whole backside. He rides his man up the lane, gets him up high, and allows the pass over the top. Tough to guard if you don't have weak side help, especially when you get your high post up there.
Webster gets the point. His first of the game. And a push off here on Indiana State. Ted Morris.
16.
63-36, Indiana State. Petty with an ill-advised move inside, but a foul on Indiana State. It's on Morris.
Well, guess what? Another freshman for Evansville, Justin Petty, catching the ball up top, sees a wide open lane, takes it left-handed to the big fella Ted Morris, and has the perseverance to stick with it after getting a shot blocked by Morris, and gets the foul. Justin Petty, another guy that they think is going to evolve into a player for him at some point down the road. He's getting a lot of minutes early here as a freshman out of Indianapolis. In Evansville, we're just going to stay down on this end until Evansville scores.
And they do. Petty gets the bucket. He's got 6. And Ted Morris picked up 3 quick fouls to get 4 total. It's like minute rice.
Yeah, the good thing for Indiana State, it ran about a minute off the clock.
8:22 left in the game. Indiana State headed to 5-4 and 1-0 in the league. In a game against Bradley, which will be very interesting Saturday in Peoria, particularly since Philip Gilbert is out of that Bradley lineup. I mean, how bad does that hurt them? Stress fracture. What are we hearing, about 3 to 5 weeks, maybe?
3 to 5. Having a great season so far. That is an explosive team. Gilbert and Gillingham. Marcellus Somerville has lived up to his expectations so far.
Eric Gray out of control, leaves his feet, turns the ball over with a charge.
And Justin Petty in on the play again.
And that will earn Eric Gray a chat with Royce Walton. 63-38, Indiana State up big.
I'm just like any busy mom. I spend all my time running from here to there and never have enough time to fix a real meal. But guess what? We have some help. Banquet Homestyle Bakes. It has everything you need, including the meat, to put together a delicious home-cooked meal in 5 minutes, like creamy chicken and biscuits. No wonder it's America's favorite. Well, time for carpool. Banquet Homestyle Bakes in 3 new homestyle varieties. It's today's homemade.
Don Mullery's World of Cars. Anything you want.
Low prices?
You got it. Anything you need.
Low payments?
You've got it. Anything you want.
Low financing?
You got it. Anything you need.
High trade-in allowance?
You got it. You'll always receive great purchasing benefits and impressive vehicle selection at Don Mullery World of Cars on Illinois Route 2. 2 miles west of Dixon, 6 miles east of Sterling. That's Don Mullery's World of Cars. You got it.
Watch the stories unfold. Mystery Sunday. 6 shows every Sunday, starting at 1. McMillan and Wife. McLeod. Hawaii Five-0. Kojak. The Equalizer. And Quincy M.E. Mystery Sunday. Classic Mystery Series. Every Sunday starting at 1 on the Hallmark Channel.
Jolt is back with Chris Piper. Indiana State up by a bunch. 7:46 left to go in the game. Time now for this date in history. Brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel, St. Louis. December 31st, 1996. Future NBA standout Troy Hudson put up 26 points, and the Salukis of Southern Illinois came from behind Edge Bradley in Peoria in overtime. Later that same season, Anthony Parker hit a midcourt 3 at the buzzer in Carbondale to give the Braves a 3-point win. That's the way this league works, folks. The Renaissance Grand Hotel St. Louis, the official St. Louis hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference. Harry Cottons saves it. And Matt Webster scores his first field goal of the game.
Matt Webster.
Another freshman for Evansville.
Steve Murfeld just has to find a way to keep these guys from getting beaten down.
Now, tough early season schedule.
You know, I'm looking ahead too at the schedule that's facing him. Nice play from behind by Ottens on Moss. After this, they go to Northern Iowa, which has had its moments, beating the University of Iowa with a nice non-conference win for the Panthers. Then SMS and Bradley at home, then at Southern Illinois, at Creighton. Ouch. If you're looking for 2004's hottest styles, Aeropostale provides the hottest athletically inspired clothes for guys and girls. For the store locations, visit the website at aeropostale.com. AEROPOSTALE.com. Aeropostale, proud to sponsor the Missouri Valley Conference.
Got one of those chainsaws.
Down ball, possession, Evansville.
And you know, the other thing about Evansville's schedule, Mitch, is that of their games that they've had so far this season, only 3 of those have been at home. Tough to try and build confidence with a young team if you're on the road all the time playing some pretty big name opponents.
Cottrell Green is fouling. Evansville will get a bonus opportunity. Indiana State, on the other hand, kind of giving notice that they have the potential to make noise. That's why that Bradley game on Saturday will be interesting at Bradley for Royce Waltman's team. And they come back here and have 2 straight at home with Southern Illinois and Illinois State before going to SMS and Wichita State.
Well, this is a team for Illinois State that or Indiana State that needs to be able to hold serve at home. If you can win your games at home and maybe sneak 1 or 2 on the road, put yourself in a good position for the Valley tournament.
Royce just took the jacket off. Royce, you're up 22. I think he just did it for kind of grins and giggles. We've seen that thing fly off and go up about 5 rows a couple times. 3-point percentage. Indiana State 10 of 18. Most of those were in the first half. Evansville 3 of 16. Yeah, Royce Waltman is a crack up. What's fun about him, though, is how much he appreciates and loves the game. Cottrell Green is going to get. Whoa, we're going to wave this off. and call it an offensive foul. Well, if the jacket wasn't off, he might pull it off after that one. I don't think he likes the call from Mr. Huggins.
Terrell Green leaving his feet, going up. Drew Gore stepping underneath on the foul.
That's the Royce Waltman we know and love. John Higgins catching the wrath of the Royce Meister. Underneath, Matt Webster getting a easy basket. Evansville back within 20, trying to make it look respectable. 5:42 left in the game. And Evansville sets a trap, but unfortunately knocks Cottrell Green over.
Sets the trap and knocks the cheese over. Double team over there and just ran right through Cottrell Green. The Anslinger being a little overzealous. Cottrell Green's a guy that you look at. He's averaging 3 points, 4 boards on the season, and you think you got to get more than that inside, but if you can get a guy in that position, he can at least keep his man off the glass and do a good job defensively. And if you get Amani Donish rolling inside, then pretty much kind of get as much as you can hope for.
Nice high-low. Webster gets twisted underneath. Donish is fouling, and he's not happy.
Elamani Donish upset right there. He was fronting down on the post, and then they bring the ball up top, and Ted Morris just rides him up the lane. Gets caught as he tries to swing around behind.
Donish will come out. Donish upset. He didn't get the help shot he wanted.
He couldn't get around.
Yeah.
He was upset. His guys were telling him to get around, and he's like, I'm trying. You know, post position inside defensively always happens. If you're the last one to make the move, you're beat. The only way to make the move inside is to do it when the ball's in the air. Otherwise, you're done.
Indiana State up 20. Evansville trapping that wing now with regularity. Jared Adler. I'll say it again. That's 9 and a chance for 10. He came in at 3 points.
Wide open three, but look at that. 3 Evansville jerseys go after David Moss, which leaves the offensive rebound wide open.
Look at Adler laugh. He's even foul outing. Matt Webster fouls out, but look at Adler. He's like, now watch. Tomorrow, practice, he'll go, Coach, you know that stuff we run for David Moss? Run some of that for me now, too. I'm a scorer.
Yeah, he's going to say that to Royce Waltman.
Yeah. You think? Well, you might just to jack with Royce a little bit. That'll be the end of it.
Well, he was struggling coming into this game. He came into the game 1 out of 8 from the floor on the season. Here this afternoon has had much better success, 4 for 5. Gives him 9 points now after he misses that free throw. But Evansville, you know, they're caught in a situation, just young mistake there, that last possession. You got 3 guys really not going after David Moss, but just kind of half running at him. And all they did was they allowed David Moss to have a wide open 3 with no pressure on it, and they gave up the offensive rebound. Young team going to make young mistakes.
It is an Evansville program, however. You walk into Roberts Stadium, you sense the pride and tradition there. 4 national championships with A-Rad McCutcheon. Great moments under Jim Cruz. There is tradition and pride. Now, once those things leave your program, you're in big trouble. But if you can maintain those in the down times, you'll be back. Got some grinding going on, and Jared Adler, who's trying to be player of the week here, has drawn a foul on Bradley Strickland.
So we've seen a lot of that today, where the defensive postman is putting so much pressure on the offensive guy at the high post, and I kind of question that a little bit, because most of the guys that in that position aren't going to hurt you if they catch the ball at that spot. You could play that the low side with the hand in the passing lane rather than try and deny an all-out pass to him. And And occasions where they have denied the all-out pass, it's given them the lob pass underneath the basket.
The incomparable Jared Adler now has tied his career high with 11. He had it against Southern Illinois, and that was last year, early in January, when this year began. Indiana State up by 24 points.
Now both sides really have been concentrating inside the paint here in the second half. Watch the post up by Strickland. Adler trying to get around him. Strickland does a nice job of continuing to back him underneath in that situation because he was behind him. He was trying to keep the passing lane open to him because he had him on his back. And as Jared Adler tried to swing underneath, leaves it wide open for that pass over the top.
Strickland has been a scattergun at the foul line. He is 0 for 6 after that miss. That puts him for the year 1 of 13. 4:08 left to go in the game. 68-44 Indiana State. Steve Murphy has been thinking, didn't we do this here last year?
A little deja vu.
Then Evansville came back to beat Creighton at Evansville. Ooh, they get Moss ISO'd low. Nice play. Jared Adler has no equal in this game. 13 for Jared Adler, the junior from Monroe, Indiana.
Didn't Royce Waltman say something about enthusiasm there at halftime?
Yeah, he's getting it. Kind of kidding about him, but the guy is doing it and doing it in the right way. I mean, it's not like he's slopping these in with bank shots from half court.
He's playing hard, isn't he?
He is. Now he's wanting to screen somebody. Just can't wait to hit somebody here. 70-44 Indiana State. And David Moss, we got to repeat, is not even in double figures. He has 9. Howard got the shot off just before the shot clock buzzer. And Anslinger down in transition. He's got 6, both in the second half and both on threes. Indiana State running clock here, up by 23. Evansville with Justin Petty, a career-high 10 rebounds. One of the few bright spots for the Purple Aces. Shot down. This is Otten. Eric Otten's with the basket. David Moss, checking here, has been in double figures every game this season. He's setting at 9 right now. He had 2 against Northern Iowa in the Valley Tournament. Last time he was in single digits last year. And that little sequence defines the day for Evansville. They play good defense. They're going to get a turnover, and yet it rolls off the hands of Eric Otten. Happy New Year to Royce Waltman, 2004. We're going to start on a good note for him. Up 20.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a woman who knows how to relax.
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a painter, a parent, an individual.
I see a mom and a dad who are completely behind their kids.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV.
groundbreaking study dogs can live longer, healthier lives.
After all these years, you haven't lost a step, you old hound.
The 14-year study proves that dog chow nutrition, when fed properly over his lifetime, can significantly extend his healthy years.
Okay, last one home buys breakfast.
So he can keep on amazing you year after year.
Gotta be the dog chow.
Incredible dog food, incredible dogs. Purina Dog Chow brand.
Indiana State by 20, leading 70-50 with 77 seconds left to go in the game. As the Sycamores get a basket for Jake Sands, who's got only 9 points for the entire season. Well, it's been a fun day for everyone. Evans now cleaning up the bench. Trying to get all these guys mentioned for you. Shot missing from Devin Welch from McLeansboro, Illinois. Getting some action here on television. That's Drew Gore, who gets his first basket of the game. Well, we're off and running in earnest now in the league, because things really get cranked up now for the Missouri Valley Conference race. Indiana State got what they wanted. A convincing win, and they will go to Bradley Saturday night with some confidence. For Evansville, it's just one long laboratory.
Exactly right. It's an experiment, an educational process as well. Young team trying to continue to teach them how they need to play, and yet don't lose the confidence that they're going to need long term.
There's the horn. The sound of the horn. Indiana State 72. Evansville 52. And Indiana State now 5-4. And goes into 2004 on a great note. It's time to announce our GHP players of the game. Justin Petty, a freshman for Evansville, a career high 10 rebounds and 7 points for Petty off the bench. And our GHP player of the game for Indiana State, as the Sycamores go to 1-0 and 5-4, Amani Donish. 13 points for Donish, his second career high. 13 points, 4 rebounds, and was 4 of 8 from the field. So Amani Donish, the player of the game for Indiana State. Choose a great health plan for your family. Choose GHP. Indiana State with the win, 72-52. And very convincing with an outstanding first 20 minutes of play. And Pipe and I are now joined by the man of the hour in Terre Haute. Happy New Year, Roy Swaltman. The way your guys played the first 20 minutes reminded me of 2000 and 2001.
Well, we played defense with a lot of enthusiasm and concentration. I think at halftime we counted 2 baskets they'd made where we'd had lapses in concentration. Second half, we had a lot of lapses and just sort of played back and forth, and I know that can easily happen when you have that kind of lead. But the first 20 minutes was good.
Well, we try to overcomplicate the game and X&O it to death, but sometimes it's all about getting your guys to play hard and have fun, and they obviously look like they did that here this afternoon.
Oh, I think you play hard, you play smart. You can win a lot of games no matter what your system happens to be.
Well, David Moss only 9 points in this game, but you throw out the stat sheet, it's amazing to me the kind of kid he is. A lot of times scorers think that they have to be able to get points, but it really looked like he was more concerned about winning and getting the other guys involved.
Oh, I'll guarantee you he's going to be one of the happiest guys in there. There's some guys who haven't scored did today. He knows that'll just make it better for him.
Now, Royce, we knew about David Moss coming in, but a couple of things I saw in this game I want to ask you about what we did not see the last couple of years. You hit perimeter shots. That's one. two. Amani Donish inside gave you Jabril Conte kind of work in there. What about those two areas?
Yeah, Amani brings us a little bit of physical play around the basket. He's not as big as Jabril, but he has that same warrior attitude, and he really is a great influence on our whole team.
Well done, and good luck Saturday at Bradley.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Look at him. He's got his little beads. He is ready to go. Outstanding effort by his team, 70-50, 72-52, I should say. Indiana State 5-4 and 1-0 in the lead.